Olive was standing on a steep slope covered in crunchy white snow. It was very cold. She was wearing a thick, puffy coat and a bobble hat.
I'm glad I've got these warm clothes.
Oh, yes, you can say that again,
said a voice. Olive turned to see a little man with a huge bushy beard. He was only wearing a vest and pants. He was shivering quite a lot.
I'm Olive. Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Sir Edmund Hillertop, a famous mountaineer. I climb all the tallest mountains.
Oh, so is this a tall mountain?
Tall? Olive, old bean, this is Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, and I'm climbing to the summit.
But, Sir Edmund, what's happened to all your clothes? Aren't you cold?
Oh, there was this huge gust of wind. It blew away all my warm clothes, along with my map, compass, and packed lunch. So now I'm rather chilly, hungry, and lost.
Well, I'm not sure how to help. I'm no mountaineer.
Suddenly, there was an enormous growl. Out from behind a rock jumped a huge, fairy, man-shaped thing. It was growling, and it didn't sound at all happy to see them.
Oh, that's the infamous Yeti! Run for it before he eats us for his dinner! Wait! He's got my map, compass, and packed lunch! Oi! Give those back!
Oh, I think that's the last we'll see of those. Oh dear. I think he's still hungry. Maybe he's going to eat us next.
She had to think fast.
Sir Edmund, do you have any food at all?
Well, I do have my emergency cupcake. Always keep one tucked away.
A cupcake? A hungry Yeti? I think I may have an idea.
Olive took the cupcake from Sir Edmund and held it out to the Yeti. The Yeti grabbed the cupcake and gobbled it down. Yum, said the Yeti. He seemed very happy.
Oh, I think he wants your poles too, Edmund,
said Olive. Edmund handed them over. The Yeti used them as needles to knit a long scarf out of his own fur. He gave it to Edmund. Edmund wrapped the scarf around himself.
Well, thanks very much. This Yeti scarf really is very warm.
I think he wants to lead us to the summit of Everest,
said Olive. So Olive and Sir Edmund followed the Yeti all the way to the summit.
We've conquered Everest!
Beamed Sir Edmund.
And you're the first ever ostrich to climb it. Congratulations, Olive.
That's lovely. But how do we get down again?
Suddenly, the Yeti gave Olive and Sir Edmund a push. They went sliding all the way down Mount Everest on their bottoms, and the Yeti slid down behind. Cried Olive as she slid. At the bottom, they ended up in a snowdrift.
Oh, that was fun.
Thanks so much for all your help, Olive.
I think you've got yourself a new mountain climbing best friend forever.
Chuckled Olive. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again,
said her mum.
Pecking. Actually, I climbed Mount Everest and met a Yeti.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear,
said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was outside in the rain, right in the middle of a large muddy field. She was wearing a maroon-coloured shirt and was holding an umbrella to keep her dry.
Oh, Pecking! I'm wearing a sports kit.
There was a goal at each end of the muddy field, and behind one of the goals there was a large tree laden with apples.
Hey, number 7.
Shouted a tall pig with a clipboard.
Hello, I'm Olive.
I'm Sean Curlytail. I coach the Richmond Hogs.
He said, pointing towards a group of pigs all wearing the same maroon kit as Olive.
And you must be our missing team member.
Oh, how exciting!
Problem is, you're not the only thing missing. Today, I forgot to bring the hockey sticks and hockey balls. We can't play hockey without them.
Olive looked at the big apple tree.
Some apples? My umbrella? I think I may have an idea.
Olive organised the team into a large pyramid with hair at the very top. Olive hooked her umbrella around a branch that had lots of apples hanging down from it. She shook the branch, and all the apples fell off it and tumbled to the ground.
Oh, this is all well and good, and apples are very tasty. But how does this help us play hockey?
Well, a hockey ball is small and round like an apple. And a hockey stick is a long, straight stick with a curve on the bottom, a bit like this umbrella.
Oh, brilliant idea, Olive. But to play a game of hockey, we all need a stick. Excuse me.
Piped up a small pig.
I'm Sophie Swine, the captain of the Hogs. Why don't we have a penalty shootout? We only need one stick for that.
Great idea!
Said Sean, and he quickly organised the competition. Each pig would get one shot on goal using an apple as the ball and Olive's umbrella as the hockey stick. Sophie Swine volunteered to play in goal. Everyone took turns to shoot. Some shot too high, some shot too low. But every time, Sophie would get in the way of the apple ball and eat it, stopping it going into the goal. For one shot, she even did a backward somersault, landing on her feet and gobbling up the apple.
Well, you're the last player, Olive. No one has managed to get a goal yet. So if you score a goal now, then you're the winner.
Olive took a long run up and swung for the apple ball. But the pitch was so wet, she slipped. Her shot had lost all of its power. Olive watched as the ball rolled slowly towards the line. But instead of saving the apple ball by eating it, Sophie simply let it roll through her legs and into the goal.
Goal!
Shouted Sean.
Olive's the winner!
The other pigs cheered and lifted Olive high into the air.
Heck, I'm glad I won. Sophie, why didn't you save my shot?
Sorry, I would have done, but my tummy's too full of apples.
Said Sophie before letting out a huge burp. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I've been playing a wonderful game of hockey.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was sitting in a moving chair high above a snow-covered slope. On her feet was some strange, long, thin planks, and she was holding 2 poles. Next to her sat a little elk.
Oh, hello, I'm Olive. What are these planks? And where is this flying chair taking us?
Hello, I'm Stefan. These are skis, and this is a chairlift that will take us to the top of the mountain. Then we can ski down it. Super cool, yeah?
Olive looked down and saw lots of skiers skiing down the slopes.
It does look like fun, but I've never tried skiing before. Is it dangerous?
No. I'll give you a lesson. Soon you'll be skiing down the mountain super fast, yeah?
Well, okay, yeah.
Olive and Stefan jumped off the chairlift and slid over to a small practice slope. Stefan showed Olive the basics. She wobbled, skidded, and kept falling over.
Skiing isn't easy.
But soon, Olive was getting the hang of it.
Well, like this, Stefan.
Well, kind of. Come on, let's ski down the mountain, yeah?
Already?
It's okay.
Said Stefan as he pointed to a sign with a big green arrow on it.
As long as we stay on the easy green run, you'll be fine.
Woohoo! This is fun.
Soon they were skiing towards a fork in the slope. The green run led off in one direction, but the other was marked with a black arrow. It was a really hard and steep black run.
Okay, Olive, we must keep to the green run here, yeah?
Warned Stefan, but as she reached the fork, a snowboarding chipmunk shot past, forcing Olive to swerve.
Gag, watch out!
And before she knew it, Olive was hurtling down the black run.
Olive, no! This is too steep for you.
Shouted Stefan as he skied after her. But Olive was going way too fast.
Wow!
The other skiers had to dodge out of her way. Olive reached a sharp bend. She couldn't turn in time and went flying off a snow ramp high into the air. Stefan flew after her. They both landed head first in a snowdrift.
Are you okay, Olive?
so, but now we've lost our skis.
Oh no, the snow's too deep. We can't walk down the mountain.
Olive spotted Stefan's rucksack.
What do you have in your rucksack, Stefan?
It's my emergency supplies, a first aid kit with some bandages and 5 big bars of chocolate.
Some bandages, some big bars of chocolate. I think I may have an idea.
Olive used the bandages to strap 2 bars of chocolate to her feet.
There you go. The bars of chocolate are skis.
But won't they melt?
Not with all this cold snow. And, the branches are ski poles.
Olive and Stefan grabbed 2 branches each, and soon they were skiing down the mountain once more, being careful to stick to the green run this time. At the bottom, they expertly skied to a halt and ordered mugs of steaming hot milk from a cafe. Stefan took the remaining chocolate bar and mixed it into their drinks.
Now we have hot chocolate, yeah?
Olive sipped their hot chocolate. It tasted amazing.
I do love skiing, but I think I love hot chocolate even more.
Super hot, yeah?
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Kek, actually, I've been skiing on a super cool black run.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself standing on a floating iceberg next to an igloo. She was dressed in a woolly hat and scarf.
It's so cold.
Shivered Olive.
It's not just cold, it's freezing, just how it's meant to be here in the Arctic.
Said a young polar bear who appeared from the igloo.
You're telling me. I'm Olive, by the way.
Hello, Olive, I'm Alfred, and that's my village over there.
Olive looked over at a group of igloos just like Alfred's on a distant iceberg.
But if that's your village, Alfred, what are you doing all the way over here?
Floating further away from my village, that's what. Oh, you see, the iceberg split in two had sent my igloo and me floating out into the sea. I was so busy fishing, I didn't realise until it was too late.
Oh dear. Can you swim back?
I'm only little. I can't swim that far.
Oh, that's cold. Not to worry, Alfred. We'll think of another way to get you home.
I do hope we can. It's very lonely here.
Your fishing rod could be helpful. Maybe we could use it to hook onto the big iceberg and then pull ourselves across.
Great idea, Olive.
Olive picked up the fishing rod and cast the line out towards the big iceberg.
Oh, no.
Oh, we've drifted too far, Olive. The fishing line won't reach.
Not to worry, Alfred. We'll try something else.
Olive spotted a penguin swimming in the ocean. She reeled the fishing line back and popped a fish onto the end.
Maybe we can get someone to pull us.
Olive cast the fish out towards the penguin. The fish landed in the water with a splash. The penguin grabbed it and tried to swim away. Its little flippers splashed and splashed, but neither the penguin nor Alfred's iceberg moved.
That penguin isn't strong enough to pull my iceberg back to the village. It's just too big, Olive. We'll have to find another way to get me home.
A fishing rod, a penguin, an igloo. I think I may have an idea. We can turn your igloo into a boat. That should be light enough for a penguin to pull.
Alfred and Olive quickly flipped the igloo onto its roof, slid it into the water, and they jumped aboard.
Now we just need a bit of penguin power.
Olive cast another fish towards the penguin, but it flew over the penguin's head and plopped into the water beyond.
Oh!
Suddenly, a huge whale rose out of the water with the fish in its mouth.
Cake, that's not good.
As the whale zoomed off, the little igloo skimmed over the splashing waves towards the village. The polar bears all dived for cover as Alfred and Olive catapulted out of the water, skidded across the ice, and finally slowed to a halt in the middle of the village. A huge polar bear lumbered towards them.
Oh, there you are, Alfred. Did you remember supper?
Yes, Mum.
replied Alfred as he gestured to the igloo, which was now filled with fish from their journey.
Well done, Alfred. There's enough fish here to feed the entire village.
Thanks for getting me home, Olive. I had lots of fun.
So did I, Alfred. In fact, I had a whale of a time.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I went fishing in an igloo with a polar bear.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was in a big room surrounded by tall shelves full of books. It was very quiet.
Where am I?
Said Olive, rather loudly.
Shh! Be quiet, please. You're in a library.
A face peered out from behind one of the bookshelves. It was a little red squirrel with a big bushy tail.
Oh, sorry.
Olive whispered.
I'm Olive. Why is it so quiet in this library?
Because it's a place where you come to read or borrow books. It's best to have quiet when you're trying to read. I'm Henry Huckleberry, and I love to read.
Oh, me too.
Trouble is, I can't find my favourite book anywhere.
What's it called?
It's a big yellow book called Attack of the Mutant Space Frogs. It's really awesome.
It was then Olive and Henry heard someone muttering.
Oh dear, oh dear.
They peered behind a shelf and saw a little red-faced bookworm putting books back on the shelves.
Oh dear, oh bother.
Excuse me.
Whispered Olive.
What? What is it? I'm very busy, you know.
We're looking for a book. Wilfred, it's called Attack of the Mutant...
Sorry, I haven't got time to find your book. I've got all these books to put back on the shelves. Too much to do. Got to go.
Henry sighed.
This place is such a mess. My book could be anywhere.
Wait.
Said Olive.
Look, there's a yellow book on the top of that tall shelf.
Oh, yes, that's Attack of the Mutant Space Frogs. But we're never going to reach it way up there.
Lots of books that can be piled up really high. I think I may have an idea.
Henry and Olive stacked the books higher and higher until the pile almost touched the ceiling.
There. We'll have your book down in no time.
Olive began to climb the stack of books, but as Olive climbed higher, the books became more and more wobbly.
Be careful, Olive.
Whispered Henry. Finally, Olive got to the top. She had to lean over to grab Henry's book with her beak, but then the stack of the books really started to wobble. Olive couldn't keep her balance anymore. And then the whole stack collapsed. The books came tumbling down into a huge heap, burying Olive and Henry.
Oops.
Said Olive. Wilfred came rushing over.
Shh! What is this terrible mess?
Sorry, we were just trying to get my favourite book from the top shelf, and it all went horribly wrong.
We can help you put all these books back on the shelves, Wilfred.
Well, yes, I suppose that would be very helpful.
So Olive, Henry and Wilfred put all the books back onto the shelves. Finally, there was just one book left.
Wow! Attack of the Mutant Space Frogs. I've been looking for this book for ages. It's my favourite.
Wow, mine too.
Beamed Henry.
Why don't we read it together?
Yes! Great idea!
Shouted Wilfred.
Shush.
Shushed Olive and Henry.
Sorry,
Whispered Wilfred.
I should really keep my voice down. This is a library, don't you know?
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I helped find Attack of the Mutant Space Frogs.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.